Hi, hello everybody, Agent Fires here. Now, I wasn't actually expecting to be making this video right now. I wasn't really interested in Edge of Fate enough to actually make anything about it. I wasn't even really planning on picking up the expansion, apart from if it was actually good. However, Destiny Rising's beta ended, and I still needed my Destiny fix, because ultimately there's just something about this game that is entirely irreplaceable. I was content to mostly just wait. However, Bungie put out a live stream showcasing the news content in the Edge of Fate. One of only two, so they might actually show a little bit more on next week. However, I sat through the whole thing of this one, and it really just put me in a state of, is that it? In fact, those are the exact words that I used when the stream ended. Even if you ignore the fact that a whole bunch of this information was released to the content creators weeks prior, shortly after the Destiny Rising beta started. Curious, that one. The amount of content that they actually showed in that stream is just entirely insubstantial. They're showing one new weapon archetype, one new weapon type, which I will state the crossbow did look pretty cool, but ultimately there's just not really anything in there that is actually drawing me in to want to play Destiny again. Quality of life improvements are a nice bonus when you have a lot of good content to play, but it seems the only real selling value that this expansion has is that it's bringing a lot of meaningful changes to the core of Destiny that I will say are needed, but it really just begs the question, why? Why should I care about these quality of life improvements if Destiny has not excited me since Lightfall? With every single advertising release of Edge of Fate, it's ultimately just shaping up more and more to be Shadowkeep 2.0. Except there's one major problem. The final shape wasn't Forsaken. Forsaken and the year of content that came after Forsaken, they were such monumental victories for Destiny. That year was probably the only perfect year of Destiny content that we've actually had. And going bar for bar, Forsaken versus Final Shape just as expansions, sure, you can state that the quality of content in the Final Shape is better than the quality of content that was put out in Forsaken, which I would sincerely hope that would be the case considering it came out half a decade later. However, what you can't say is that Forsaken clears it on everything else if you just look slightly beyond simply just the campaign and raid content. Forsaken had all the same kind of content that the Final Shape had, but it also added new game modes, it completely overhauled basically every single aspect of the game. It was essentially just a whole relaunch in the same kind of style that The Taken King was for Destiny 1. There hasn't been a full, substantial, system-wide upgrade to Destiny while pumping the game full of content in the same way that Forsaken had since its release. And I'll just state that even Season of the Drifter easily clears any episode content-wise. And on the topic of content, where is the content? We're getting a similar amount of exotics to a seasonal release, one new destination, they haven't even mentioned anything to do with Strikes or Crucible maps, and only one new raid? This really just goes to show that they are not putting their best foot forward in this. They are not confident in what they're putting out. The through line across all of the marketing from the Edge of Fate is essentially just less, which is really, really worrying because they were already giving us less with every single expansion that they put out without even saying that they were giving us less. They're saying they're scaling back at a time where post-Final Shape they should be telling everybody that no, Destiny isn't going anywhere. No, Destiny's still going to be a game that you can play. And honestly, with what they've shown, it's really insulting saying that this is a Rise of Iron or even a Shadowkeep-sized expansion. Because even if you compare content to Shadowkeep, sure, Shadowkeep was a reissued destination, but Shadowkeep still launched with a brand new raid and a brand new dungeon, on top of coming with a free season, while also being less expensive than your regular expansion. They're selling Edge of Fate for the same price as they sold us Forsaken. They're selling the whole year of content for the same price that they sold years like Witch Queen, like Beyond Light, like even the Final Shape, where they were giving us more content than what they're giving us now. We're getting half the raids and half the dungeons. And if you're excited about Armor 3.0 offering new opportunities for build crafting, well, sorry to say that they're ruining build crafting as well. You know that whole forced seasonal meta that's been going on for a few years now? Where they just really, really buff and give artifact mods to certain weapons and abilities, and really just force people into playing those styles of builds for the entire season? Yeah, that's still here, and it's even worse than ever. I actually have a screenshot from the stream that I'll put into the video. Right here, new gear armor. Grants damage resistance when using new gear armor. Up to 15% damage resistance. So, in order to get half of the damage resistance that you would get from being max resilience before, you have to use entirely new armor. And there's no way that you could put that bonus on old armor. Not only that, new gear weapons for the kinetic and energy slot also get damage boosts, up to 10%. That's right, not only will you have to grind new gear to interact with the new systems, but you're going to have to grind new gear every single season. This is essentially just a softer version of sunsetting, where you can use your old gear in the newer content, but you're gonna be put at a bit of a disadvantage if you do that. So what I'm really seeing here is that we've got less content than Shadowkeep, a lot of the worst aspects of Shadowkeep, and also the worst aspects of Beyond Light, all wrapped up into one little bundle, and we don't even get content. In terms of ability sandboxes, Episode Heresy might have actually done more for the game than Edge of Fate will. The amount that I'm seeing here is more comparable to a season than it is an expansion. And sure, there is probably more that they haven't shown, but it's also 3 weeks before release. And they still haven't shown a single thing that would be able to convince me, somebody who played Destiny for over 3,000 hours, and would constantly grind the game, maxing out every single season, doing everything that I possibly could, collecting as many Triumph Seals as I could complete. I was one of the most dedicated players before Lightfall came around. And the Final Shape was good. I played through the Final Shape, I enjoyed it, but the very first thing that came out after the Final Shape was Episode Echoes. And then Episode Revenant came out after that. Heresy was fine, but all of this is just not enough. It's not enough to get me or anyone else really to care. Viewership for Destiny 2 is down across the board. Interest is down across the board. And Bungie has continued to do nothing but gut their development team in favor of incubation projects that never see the light of day, and Marathon, which has already been so universally panned that they've delayed it for the foreseeable future. I mean, I'm just looking at this, thinking to myself, am I really going to see more content in here that I would be able to see in a 1.1 update of Destiny Rising? And that update cycles much sooner than a yearly expansion. And that's really one of the big differences that I feel between Destiny Rising and Destiny 2 right now. Destiny 2 has not given me something to hope for. Bungie as a studio has really just thrown away all of the goodwill that they could possibly have for most people. To the point where even though I had a lot of issues with Destiny Rising's beta, I still feel like that there are a lot more things to look forward to for a release of Destiny Rising, and for a continued playing of Destiny Rising. And that's really just all of my thoughts. I'm gonna be honest, I mostly just put this video together because I felt like watching that stream was just a huge waste of my time. And I really just wanted to get all of my thoughts on the Edge of Fate off of my chest. Because the more I see on it, the less excited I feel. Feel free to share all of your thoughts in the comments. If you're excited about the Edge of Fate, that's great. I'm really happy for you. I'm not putting out this video to try and really convince people that they should hate the Edge of Fate, or that if you like the Edge of Fate, then you're stupid. That's not it. I don't really like putting out theme posty stuff. I would love it more than anything if the Edge of Fate was just the most insane kind of expansion for its caliber than we could have ever seen. But I'm just not seeing that. I'm not even really seeing more reasons to be excited over it than even Shadowkeep. And Shadowkeep was already a big disappointment in hindsight. With that all out of the way, leave a like on the video if you did, share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more. I'll probably be putting out a bigger variety of content these next few days, aside from just Destiny Rising and Destiny related stuff. I wasn't even really planning on making this video at first. I just had the urge, that's all. And I will see you all next time.